Hello. In this video I'm going to show you how to import your character into Blender and how to set everything up there to make a GFX. There are a lot of videos on this topic, but a lot of them don't actually show you stuff in detail. Well, some of them do. Anyways, I wanted to show you some things that I found out and how it can help you. Okay, so first of all, you're gonna need to insert your character into Roblox Studio. You're going to need the character inserter plugin. So go over here into View and enable Toolbox. If it was not enabled, make sure it's enabled. You will then see a window right here called Toolbox. So press over here and go over to Plugins and search for Load Character. You will see these two plugins. One of them is the actual plugin that costs Robux. The other one is the light version. They do the same thing, but I have no idea what the difference is. Anyways, get the free version. Then over here, go to plugins. Once you've installed the plugin, you will see load character, the plugin. You can press it and it'll make this window right here. Type in your character's name. If this is your character, it's good. Make sure this tick is has an X on it, because it needs to be spawned at the origin. If you have something blocking 000, like if you press user, by the way, as you can see, it's spawned on top of the other mesh that I have over here. If this happens, delete it and move the thing that's blocking it out of the way. This way the mesh will spawn right in the center in Blender. So spawn it in again. It should appear on the ground. Okay, now you can close the plugin over here. Now go into View and make sure these two windows are checked. You need to have the properties and the Explorer open. Once you open the Explorer, you will have this window right here called Explorer. Go into Workspace and you will find your, so basically press on your character over here and it should highlight the character in the workspace. Right click it, select Export Selection. This will export the character as an OBJ file, wavefront file actually. Save it to somewhere that you will know where it is. I'm just gonna name mine tutorial mesh tutorial character and then press save. Okay, you can close Roblox and go into Blender. If you don't have Blender is a 3D software that is free and it's very powerful. It's probably the main software people use to make meshes, to make GFX. It's really good. I'll leave the download link in the description. Okay, once you're in Blender, it's going to have, if it's the first time you've ever downloaded Blender, it will have a different window than this. You don't have to change anything in that window. Just press OK or whatever. Then you will have this window. You can go to General, and so here you are. Now to move around, you can hold your press on your mouse scroll wheel and then move your mouse. But lots of people like to go into this mode right here, where you can move with WASD. How I did that was on your keyboard, hold shift and press the little squiggly line It's the key that's below escape. So hold shift and press the tilde. I think it's called tilde. And then you will go into this mode. You can move with WASD. To go out of this mode, press escape. Actually, to go out of the mode, you can left click, and then it'll stay like that. So yeah, that's how you move around if you're used to Roblox Studio. Anyways, here's your scene in Blender. What you want to do is you're actually going to need the default camera and the light, but I'll show you how to set up custom lights. So you can select everything, right click, press delete. Okay, now over here go to file, press import, and select wavefront. Find your OBJ file, select the OBJ, not the MTL. The MTL is the texture. Select the OBJ and don't import quite yet. Before you import, go into this geometry tab, select split, and put a check mark on split by group. Let me show you the difference. If this wasn't selected and I imported it, as you can see, it's one whole thing. I can't select the different body parts. But if I import OBJ and I put a check mark next to split by group, it will import as different objects. This is what I've been trying to find out how to do for a long time. Yeah, finally figured it out. So yeah, as you can see in this window, you have all of your body parts. I would recommend renaming each one of these by pressing on it, going into this orange object properties tab, and renaming it. So let me just quickly rename all of these. This is left hand, left, okay. This step wasn't necessary, but it's good practice to do that if you're gonna have a lot of large projects. Okay, so also you can see your character is like white. It doesn't have the textures. Now to fix this, I'll go over here and you can see you can either choose material preview or rendered. The rendered mode is what you're gonna be using when you have lights. The material preview, it just shows the textures. It doesn't calculate the lighting, it doesn't calculate the shadows. But rendered view is basically what you're gonna see when you export the picture. For now, we don't have any lights, so you can go to viewport shading. Okay. Now you have your character. So to pose your character, you can use these tools over here. Rotate, but as you can see, it's rotating weirdly. You can Control Z to undo, by the way. To fix this, select everything, press object, hover over set origin, and press origin to geometry. These dots should have appeared, and it means each part's center of mass or whatever, like the pivot point, is now centered by geometry. Now when you try to rotate it, it's better actually, but it's not quite good because you want to be able to rotate this part and then the arm follows it, right? So this is how you're supposed to do that. Let me quickly go into this mode right here. Never mind, I'm used to the Blender movement system. So basically, you want to parent each part to the part. Okay, anyways, follow what I do. Select the hand, and then select the lower arm. The order in which you select these is very important. Press Ctrl P, and Object, Keep Transform. Now, when you rotate this lower arm, the hand moves with it. So let's continue parenting these parts. Select the lower arm, hold Shift, select the upper arm, Ctrl P, Object, Keep Transform. Same over here. Select the hand, select the lower arm by holding Shift. Remember to select the hand first and then the lower arm. The order is important. Ctrl P, Object, Keep Transform. Same over here. First the lower arm, then the upper arm. Okay, then first the foot, then the lower leg, upper leg, foot, lower leg, upper leg, Control P. And then you want to parent this upper leg to the lower torso, and this upper leg to the lower torso. Parent this shoulder to the upper torso. Same for this one. Make sure you're again selecting it in the right order. As you can see, we're getting less items over here. That's because they're all parented to each other. Yeah. And you want to parent the upper torso to the lower torso, the head to the upper torso, and all of the accessories to the head. So first select the accessory and then the head. Okay, if you did everything correctly, you should have over here only one object. It should be lower torso, or this part over here. And inside of it, you should have all of the other parts. Now when you try rotating, it should move correctly. Now it's still kind of incorrect, like this is not really perfect, but you can always fine tune it with the move tool. Okay, now that we completely parented all of the parts, you should be able to pose stuff. Let me quickly make a pose. I'll move this arm like this. I'll move it up a bit. I'll rotate it. By the way, I think the transform tool over here, transform, yeah, it has all four, like it has all three tools combined. But I would not recommend using the scale tool, because you wouldn't really want to scale your parts. I don't know, maybe you want to, but like it combines the rotate tool and the move tool, which is kind of useful. So now just go right here and just pose your character however you want. Let me fix this posture. Okay. Whatever. This is a bad pose, but you can take your time here. Okay, now that you posed your character, you know what? This isn't a good pose. Let me just make him dab. Why not? I would really recommend getting used to the Blender shortcuts. Okay. If you look, because if you're gonna be using Blender a lot, you should really learn the shortcuts. And it's gonna be really useful. You won't have to keep selecting these tools. You can just GX, R, YY, and yeah. Anyways. Okay, now you posed your character. It's time to set up the camera and the lighting. Go to render view, and you can see your background went gray and your character should have gone dark. That's because there's no lights affecting it. So add a light. Press Shift A. It'll bring up this menu. Hover over light and select point. You just created a light. It spawned at the cursor. So we're gonna move it out and point it at this guy's face. If you go over here into the light bulb settings, you can increase the power. 1000 is usually what I do. You can move it further out if you want. You can change the color, but I usually don't recommend changing the radius. And I don't know what the specular does, but it's probably something that had to do with reflections. I don't know. You can also untick shadows, but I would keep shadows if I were you. So now just set up a lighting setup so that it looks cool. To duplicate a light, press Shift D. It will bind to your cursor. To make it go away, press right click. It will go back to the position. Now you can move it out. I'll make this one orange, and I'll make this one blue. Nice. Now you want to set up your camera. It's probably best to do it in front view. So to go into the front view, go over here and you will see this wall over here. If you click on this gray shaded area, you can move your mouse and actually rotate the camera. But to go into front view, press the little arrow that's closest to you. So try this one. Yeah, this is the right view. If you've pressed the wrong one, it might be different. So just go into the front view. Once you're in the front view, press Shift A to add in a camera. Okay, you can go out of the front view by doing whatever. Okay, you can move the camera to look at the guy. To see what the camera is looking at, press tilde on your keyboard. It's that weird key again, the key under escape. It'll bring out this menu, and you can press View Camera. You can see what your camera is looking at. So you can move it out even more and do the same thing. If you know some shortcuts, you can use those. And I think that should be good. By the way, to move it in and out like this, I pressed G and then I pressed Y. Now it's moving in and out. For you, if you press G and Y, it could actually be moving like this. If it's not moving in and out when you press GY, then press GX. But for me, it's GY. If you want to move it up and down, press GZ. To confirm the move, left click. To cancel the move, press right click. Okay, now that you've set up your camera, it's time to render your image. So go over here into these settings. Go into this camera. Go into cycles, because cycles has it uses ray casting, or I mean not ray casting. It uses ray tracing. Yeah, ray tracing. To figure out the shadows. So it's more accurate, and it gives you more quality basically. But if you're on a slow computer, it's fine if you render it in Eevee. But some of these settings that I'm going to do might actually only be in cycles. I don't know. Anyways, choose cycles. Put a check mark next. Never mind. Once you're in cycles, um, if you're in cycles, you can actually choose to compute with your graphics card if you have one. It might be a little bit faster than your CPU. Okay. Now the sampling. You can see this render sampling. It's how much samples it takes per thing. I have no idea, but more samples is more quality. You can increase it to 256 if you like to. The viewport doesn't do anything. It's just how much samples you're seeing right now. Okay, sampling is done. Now go into film if you want to make your background transparent. Like if you're going to manually draw in a background. You can tick transparent. It will make the background transparent. Or if you want to just have a plain black background, you can uncheck transparent, go to this globe icon, and choose the color of your background. But I'll make mine transparent because I will show you how to use GIMP to finalize your GFX. Okay, that's that. Now I'm going into this tab right here. You can change your resolution. This should be enough pixels. But if you want to go even further, or if you have a bigger monitor or something, you can make it 2560 by 1440. Okay. Now, go into this output right here. Press on this folder icon and browse to somewhere that's a good place. This is where it's gonna save the image. Press accept. Okay. If you're using a transparent background, make sure that you have RGBA selected right here. If it's RGB, it will not make a transparent background. It needs to be RGB, which stands for red, green, blue, alpha. It's gonna have an alpha channel. Now some of these output types don't have an alpha. Like for example, JPEG, it doesn't have alpha. So if you want a transparent background, I recommend going with PNG. So RGBA. Now that you have that done, it's time to render. Go over here to the render tab and press render image. It might take some time depending on how good your computer is or how good quality you decided to make your render. For me, it's already done. Wow, that was fast. Last one took a long time. Anyways, once it's done, be very careful. Don't close out of this because it might not have saved your image. To save this image, go into the image tab and press save. Name it like tutorial render. And make sure you have RGBA selected. Again, you can change the style or like the format. Save image. Okay, you saved your render. Now you should be able to go into your file explorer and find that image. I don't know if you can see it on my screen, but like here's my render. Okay, now that's how you render your GFX. But if you want to like draw a background and edit like draw on top of it, you're gonna need a image editing software. A good one is Photoshop if you have it, but I don't. I instead use GIMP 2.10. It's similar to Photoshop, but it's free. I'll leave the download link in the description if I won't forget to leave it, but like it's called GIMP. Anyways, you can close out of Blender. You can save it if you want. I'm not going to. Okay, now that you're in GIMP, this is GIMP right here. If you have Photoshop, you probably know how to use it, and you can start. If you know how to use layers and stuff, you're probably already good. But if you don't, if you just downloaded GIMP, it won't look as much as this. You won't have all these tools right here, probably. Yeah. So you want to have all of these tools. So to make all of them appear, press Edit, Preferences, and go into Toolbox, not Tool Options, Toolbox, and you will have an X right here. Uncheck it, and then press OK. Then you will have all of these tools. You might not have the gradients window. Say it's closed. Close tab. See, I think this is how it usually is. I don't know. You might not have this either. Close tab. This is probably what it looks like right now. Anyways, you want to open gradients because it's pretty useful. Go to Windows, Dockable Dialogues, and press Gradients. Right here somewhere. Where is it? Okay, there we go. Gradients. It will open this tab. You can drag the tab and put it like right here. Like that. That's how I usually have it. You might also find the undo window useful. Go to Windows, Dockable Dialogues, and Undo History. You can move it right here. Okay, now that you have GIMP set up, you can open your render. Press File, Open, and open your render. Okay, tutorial render. It should open it, and it should have a transparent background, or if it doesn't have a transparent background, it should be the color that you chose. Anyways, if you go into the Layers tab right here, you will see that we have this render layer. Let's create a background. So right click in this space right here, press New Layer, name it whatever you want. These settings should be okay, and press OK. Now drag it below this layer. Now you can select the bucket fill tool right here. I would again recommend memorizing the shortcuts. Now you can press with this layer selected, so press on background. Now press on the canvas. Great. Now you can simply change the color of your background. Say I want a blue background. Boom. A green background. I don't know, for like green screens. There. If you want a gradient, because as you can see I set up those orange and blue lights, let's create a gradient. Press this gradient option, and in the gradients window select custom. It might be different because I already set this up, but like you will have this long line. By the way, how I did that, I selected the gradient tool, I selected custom, and I clicked right here and I dragged it all the way out like this. Then I let go. So these are the gradient marker things. I can change the color of this to be like a brighter orange. I can change this right here. If you want to, by the way, you can move these markers around. You can see what they do like this. If I move it, it's going to slide the gradient over. You can select the color of these points by clicking on the point, and over here selecting the color. I'm gonna make it like this. This black one, this one's gonna be like right here. Then I'm gonna make this one black. Say you want to add a new marker, like another one. you can um, basically drag it somewhere on some empty space and just click. Great, you created a new marker. You can slide it around and change its color. Okay, once you're happy with your gradient, you can press enter on your keyboard. Never mind, don't press enter. Press this X. And now, to get this line away, go into the box select. There, it's gone. Now, you should be able to change your background. Say you want to draw on top of your thing. So, select your render layer. Say I want to like draw some cool electricity for my arms. I can get the airbrush tool, or the pencil tool, or the brush tool, whatever you like best. This tool option tab, you can change the size and stuff. I'll make mine a bit bigger. Nice. You can change the opacity right here. I'll make it even more subtle. There. I'll just draw on top of this layer. Oops. By the way, if you're used to shortcuts, you might not, if you try Control Z, but then you say, oh, I actually wanted that. Then you try Control Shift Z, it's gonna undo even more. The shortcut for redo is actually Control Y. There. So Control Y is how you redo. Okay. You can draw some things here. Draw some cool electricity and stuff. Make the brush smaller. Draw some cool electricity and stuff. Okay. Say you want to draw some wings on this character or something. Make a new layer. Call it wings. Okay. Now drag it in between your render and the background. Now, when you try to draw, if you try to draw, it's gonna be on top of the background, but it's gonna be behind the character. That's cool, right? So now you can draw wings. I don't know. I'm not gonna draw wings, but like, you should be able to use layers. Okay. Now that you're happy with your GFX, I really hope this isn't the thumbnail of this video. You can press File, Export as actually. Final GFX, PNG. Save it wherever you want. Export. It's gonna bring up this menu. This is fine. Press Export, and it should start exporting. Wow, that's slow. It's usually like half a second. It might take longer, but okay. Oh yeah, this is a 1440p image, no wonder. Okay, now you can close out of GIMP. You don't have to save it. Well, you might actually have to save it. Like, let me go over to my File Explorer. I don't know if you can see it, but your final render should be here. And great, that's how you make a GFX. I need some background footage. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment if you have questions, and bye.